Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the How Your Health Savings Account Can Benefit You webinar as part of the Take Care series. Please use the Q&A feature to submit any questions you have, and your questions will be answered at the end of the webinar. When the webinar ends, your web browser will prompt you to complete an evaluation survey, and we appreciate your feedback. At the end of the Take Care series, we will poll 25 winners for a $15 Visa gift card. Now I will turn this presentation over to Judy Casa from Optum.
Hello, everybody. I thank you for coming to the session today, and happy Friday. We're going to spend a little bit of time talking about health savings accounts, HSAs. A little bit about Optum Financial. Some of you may know the name Connect Your Care if you're an existing user of our accounts. Connect Your Care got acquired by Optum Financial about 2 years ago. And so a little bit about Optum. Optum's mission is to make healthcare better, work better for everybody. And we've got a variety of different accounts for important expenses, HSAs, FSAs, dependent care FSAs, etc. We've got a lot of great resources at your fingertips, videos, courses, flyers. Those are all available on our website. We've got some great technology. We've got a really nifty mobile app, as well as a participant portal. And then we offer a payment card with the account, so you can have easy access to the funds and swipe those cards as easily as you can. And we'll spend a little bit more time on that later on in the presentation. So let's learn about HSAs. So an HSA is an account that lets you put income tax-free dollars into it to pay for qualified medical, dental, and vision expenses. So you're going to want to sign up for it during open enrollment. Optum Financial is going through open enrollment right now. I had to make my decisions as well. It can be overwhelming, but you'd have to pair that with the high deductible health plan. The HSA has to be paired with a high deductible health plan per IRS regulations. You can contribute your money into the account tax-free up to the IRS limits. For 2022, those are $3,600 for single coverage and $7,300 for family. If you're over age 55, you can put an additional $1,000 into your account, and that happens the year that you turn age 55. So even if you turn 55 on December 31st, you're still eligible to make that extra contribution for the full year. You can spend your HSA dollars on things like glasses, prescription drugs, refills, doctor's visits. We've got a more detailed list later on in the presentation that I'll share with you. And then you can earn interest on those dollars. And you also have the option to invest those HSA dollars after meeting a minimum balance in your account. And those go to more like mutual fund type things that are you're probably familiar with in like 401k type roles, if that's something you utilize. And then an important thing to remember about the HSA is those dollars carry over year after year after year. Even if you would change your employment, and move to another employer or even retire, those HSA dollars are always yours. It's a little confusing. FSAs are a little different in that respect. They have a use it or lose it feature. And so the HSA is different. That money is always yours. So a little bit more about how the HSA helps you save money via income tax reductions. Um, the deposits, any money that you put into your account is exempt from income tax. The interest and potential investment growth are free of income tax. And when you use that money to spend it for qualified medical expenses, those are income tax free too. So maybe you're thinking, well, what would happen if I need access to my money and I'm not going to use it on a qualified expense? You can sure pull that money out. When you do, that would be taxed as ordinary income, and there would be a tax penalty of 20% on that. I would suggest if that's something you're going to explore to discuss that with your tax advisor, but certainly you could get the funds out if you needed them in an emergency situation. This gives you, we'll walk through a really nice example of how these dollars can add up really significantly. This example is Jake. He's 27 and considers himself fairly healthy. He started his new job and decided to open an HSA and contribute $100 a month. He doesn't have a lot of medical expenses, so he is able to let that balance sit there. Once he turns 40, he begins using about $500 a month to cover his healthcare expenses. And so this is really how these dollars can add up. In Jake's particular situation, he would have at the age, just in this model where he's only putting $100 a month in, he would have over $33,000 in his account at the age of 65. And the annual income tax savings on that would be about $300 a year. We do have a calculator on our website, optumfinancial.com, and it can run you through a similar example if you want to input your data. And just a little assumption, this assumption assumes 22% federal income tax and 7.65 FICA tax. Of course, they would vary slightly depending on your particular situation. This is a small list of the things that are eligible: chiropractic, nursing services, physical therapy, doctor's visits. One thing I don't think people realize is like sunscreen is eligible. Even things like heating pads and first aid kits, over-the-counter medicine, your COVID supplies, your personal protection equipment, even the tests are HSA eligible. So there's just really tons and tons of things that you can use the dollars for. We do have a qualified expense tool on our website, optumfinancial.com. I'd suggest you go out there and take a look at how you can use your funds. And I'm sure you'll be surprised at some of the things that you see out there that you can use them for. If you're interested in looking at the IRS code, they determine what is eligible. You can Google IRS 213D, and that also gives you the full list. But our website is interactive, and it's really a pretty nifty tool. It's sometimes tricky to know how much to contribute. I mentioned the limits for 2022 earlier in the presentation, 3650 and 7300. The 2023 limits are 2850 and 7750. WashU does have a minimum contribution into your account of $200. But some things to consider, if you have maintenance prescriptions, you might want to look at that. Our planned procedure. I had foot surgery a year ago, so I upped my contribution knowing that I was going to have that in that year. When you plan to retire, is someone in your family needing braces? Are you considering starting a family, and how much is your health plan deductible? So those are just some things that you should look at when you determine how much you should contribute. I'll build this out here. In order to be eligible for an HSA, it has to be coupled with a qualifying high deductible health plan. The IRS sets set rules. You can't be covered under any other health plan that is not a high deductible health plan. You can't be enrolled in Medicare, TRICARE for life or things of that nature. You couldn't have received veterans benefits within the last 3 months, except for preventative care. You can't be claimed as a dependent on someone else's income tax. You can't have a general purpose healthcare flexible spending account or health reimbursement account. We'll talk about investing. So as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, you can invest your dollars and earn some interest. The account would pay interest similar to what you would see on a checking or savings account, some of those lower rates. But you do have the option to move the money into some other options. So we do have a variety of mutual funds that you can select from. They're rated. We provide the Morningstar rating on them. They've got some fairly low expense ratios. And then we also have an option, it's called Betterment. This is actually what I selected for my HSA. This allows you to just answer some brief questions regarding your age, your sex, things of that nature, your retirement horizon, and it will set up the investment model for you. It's, kind of set it and forget it, if you will. But it's a really nice feature for people like me that don't want to monitor that or take the time and effort to review prospectus and things like that for the variety of mutual funds. So the savings potential and the investment potential is pretty significant. So there's an example of how those dollars can really add up. So if you start contributing $3,000 a year into your HSA until retirement, and you assume that you're using half of that for medical expenses, and if you earn 7% a year in interest and investment and reinvest all the earnings, the example below gives you how that can add up. If you started doing that at age 25, you would have over $300,000 or could have over $300,000 in investments. Even if you start as late as age 55 at retirement, you could have around $22,000 in your account. We've got a variety of different ways that you can access your account. We want to make it easy for you to use that money if you need to, or do the investments, etc. So we've got an online portal. The website is listed there. And you can do everything, make deposits in your account, pay bills, reimburse yourself, manage your investments. Over to the right, we've got our mobile app. You can do pretty much everything that you can do in the portal. But a cool feature is that you can capture receipts if you need to in there, and save those if you'd like, or submit claims. And then you can also update your beneficiary in either of these methods, in the portal or the mobile app. It's really important to do that, to add a beneficiary on your account. If you've got an HSA, I would suggest you go in and make sure that you've got someone out there. Or if you're enrolling for the first time, make sure you designate a beneficiary to your account. I know none of us like to think about that, but it's really important that you take that extra step. If you forget, we'll send you an email every couple months to remind you to do that. And then the account does offer a payment card. So that's probably the easiest way to pay for your expenses at the doctor's office, chiropractor, pharmacy. You just swipe your card. Alternatively, if the provider sends you a paper bill, you can write your payment card number on that, like you're probably familiar with, and send that back, and the provider can process that as a payment card swipe at their end. And then we do offer one card with the account, but you can certainly call in and get as many other cards as you want for additional family members covered under the plan. We recommend that you hang on to receipts. With an HSA, you're not required to send us a receipt, but you'd want to hang on to those in case you were ever audited by the IRS. Some common questions that we get, and we've covered these. Who owns the HSA? It's you. It's your account. Again, if you would leave Washington University, that would carry with you, until retirement, until you spend the account down. Do I need to keep your receipts? Yes, we recommend that. Again, like I just said, you don't have to submit the receipts for an HSA, but we would recommend you keep them in case you would get audited. And if you already have an HSA, can you open another one? Certainly. I have two. You can have as many as you want. You can consolidate them into one if you'd like. If you're opening up one this year with Washington University and you've got an older one out there, we can certainly consolidate those two. There's a form you would need to complete. I'd encourage you to visit our website, optumfinancial.com. We've got some FAQs out there and resources. So just a little bit, make sure you know your open enrollment dates. Select your HSA for year-round benefits. You can adjust contributions any time of the year and use your account to pay for care. That's the end of what I have for today. Is there any questions in the chat, Lauren?
Yes, there is one. It's asked, I already have a Betterment account. Would I be able to integrate my Optum account with my other Betterment accounts?
Is the Betterment account through a HSA? I'm sorry, Lauren, I can't see the chat because I've got a full screen display.
That's okay. No, they don't state whether it is or not.
If it was well, I'll answer it. If it was with an HSA, yes, you could. If it was just a strict Betterment account, you could not.
Another question, if I'm shopping at Target for a variety of items and I want to purchase prescription and sunscreen, how do I pay for that? Do you do two separate transactions or does the card know? Also, when will I receive my card?
Okay, the card will know. Prescriptions and sunscreen are both eligible, so the card will process those as eligible. But if you purchase at Target sunscreen and feminine hygiene products per se that are HSA eligible, and you also purchase, a pair of socks, the card will know. And you will get your card around the first of the year.
Okay. What are the limits for couples? Is this the same as family?
So the limits follow the coverage. So if you've got family coverage for 2023, the limit is $77.50. And single coverage is $38.50. And that includes any contributions that are made by WashU. And again, if you're turning age 55 in the year, you can put in an additional $1,000.
Okay. Oh, this person also has another follow-up to that. What if my daughter is dropping in August due to aging out?
You can still elect family coverage based on that family coverage when you're electing your benefits.
Is the account automatically invested or do we have to enroll in investments?
You have to enroll in investments. We will let you know when you're eligible to enroll. And it's really pretty simple. Even with the mutual funds, you can automate that process and the system will reinvest every time you've got enough money in your account to do so. You would have to select your own mutual funds that you want to invest in. And then again, with Betterment fully automated, you don't need to do anything. Like I did it for Betterment, I chose like a target date fund based on my expected retirement date, and I just leave it alone. It's very easy.
In what instances would I be asked to use a PIN to use my card?
Your card, you only need a PIN when you create your account online, which is the last 4 digits of your card number. Then it shouldn't require a PIN when you swipe it.
Okay. So can I put money into the HSA now? Can I still draw from the HSA after I retire or leave WashU?
Absolutely. You can use that money after you retire or leave WashU. After the age of 65, you can use the money for anything and wouldn't experience a tax penalty, but the money would be taxed as ordinary income. If you use it for qualified medical expenses, it's not taxed, but say after age 65, you decide you want to buy a boat with your HSA dollars, you certainly can. And that would be taxed at ordinary income levels, which would conceivably be lowered for you in your retirement years.
Can reading glasses be covered?
Yes, they are eligible.
Okay. Can you set a certain dollar amount to be moved into investments automatically on a reoccurring basis?
Yes, absolutely. $100 increments can be moved over. Mhm.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
And I should mention our call center is open 24/7, 365. So if you have questions, please feel free to call into them as well if you think of something after the session today.
Great. Well, thank you, Judy, and thank you everyone for joining today. The recording of this webinar will be on our website this afternoon. So if you need to review again, you can access it from the Take Care series website on the Wellness Connection page.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.